Okay, greetings, address. Okay, so I feel some Men in Black energy, so they're not going away either. So we'll just have some fun with them. It's not going to be a suppressive a message or anything like that. That's right. Get my background. So it won't be anything like that. I do get like a Pentagon energy too. So who knows? They are doing that whole their version of the alien disclosure. So of course a lot's being suppressed and all that. So who knows? Of course they're pushing the whole World War III situation currently. And also the moon, tapping those energies. Just the moon in general, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's basically it used to be a book, and it is a book. It's also a movie, basically connecting to the Asian cultures, the Asian landscape, things like that. Asian magic realms, things of that kind. So, and the Men in Black frequencies, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Who knows? They are fourth dimension. They have their own like reality somewhere. Some of them are was it human from our species too, like an enhanced human. The whole black out the eyes. I guess some do have blacked out eyes. Some do have white eyes. Some have blacked out guys. But some of them do have eyes like ours too. But it's like ours, but there is like a black kind of black eyes. So we're not fully. I mean, they have whites and but also black energy. So I don't think they look too intimidating. I guess they could. It all depends. What kind of Men in Black breed you connect to. I know there's been messages about they went away and announced them out of their new agency, but has anybody having experiences with these other beings out there? But the Men in Black are still around. So anyway, they're in the fourth dimension. They're part of our modern reality. And they're not always supposed to make a lot of sense, but either way, this is about fear mongering, anything like that. This is their point of view, and we'll just see how it goes. Maybe get some laughs out of it. If you get anything out of it, hopefully it's just funny. You don't get much of that in the spiritual community. Of course, anyway, it's not my job to it's not a comedy hour all the time, though. I guess it could be. Well, it is technically. It's on social media, though. All right, let's have a talk comedy private sessions. We have the scheduler. We have the shop here. I don't know where I'm somewhere. The webinar, social network, behind the scenes. So, okay, all right. All right, going to Men in Black connections, the moon, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Asian consciousness. And if anyone else wants to come through, we'll see how that goes. All right, let me check one thing before we get going. Make sure all systems go. Oh, okay. Okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greece is the Men in Black consciousness. We are not always monitoring as some might think. We are around only because somebody has to do it. We're designed to watch the alien presence. We're basically built for that. So just like some of you are built to go to your job, everyone's has specific talent that you are crafted for. Yeah, you wonder why you're good at some things and not good at other things because you're basically been designed for. But you're involved with those designs to a certain level. Interesting. If this is helpful, those that like drive trucks or cars, or it's like remembering yourself driving a spaceship. You're just doing it on a human level. Now, would you be flying a fighter jet or something like that? Yeah, you could, but what would you- what's yeah, do you want to go through all that? But yeah, if there were planes that were easier to like, you can get like a driver's license, go through like a quick test and get yourself a plane and go fly around. Many of you will be doing that right now, and I believe would be pretty decent pilots also. So those that are have like a driving career, like you drive cars or trucks or whatever it might be, flying a plane is not that much different. It's just they make things so complicated here. You need 1,000 hours and yada yada yada. But either way, it's a little. That's our 2 cents on that level. Yes, Men in Black energies are not always seen in the positive. Well, they're not, well. There's a positive. There can be. It's as our society is being suppressed like yours, just like the reptilians are going through their own suppression. So you can say a lot of the reptilians that are here are being forced to keep your world locked down. There's different realities, one after the other, that are suppressing each other. So you have Men in Black beings that are being suppressed. You have reptilian beings being suppressed. Greys are being suppressed. It's not an entire society, but there is a lot of layers there. Now, in your world, obviously, when they hear about aliens and all that, they just break out laughing. Of course, it's funny. Some alien groups find out about humans, and they wake up terrified. Well, because of all the violence here. It's funny when some say there are at least in your news organizations, it's like, oh, trust me, but then it's almost like they're channeling their evil side, which they are, and they don't even know it. Like the authority, you have a lot of dictators here. Some of them are in the news agencies. Of course, your politicians are always going to be a strange one. Some of them are been planted here by other alien groups. You would say they're clones, robotic beings. There's a assembly of different agendas there. It's not always. It's basically they're made to blend in. So I mean that would be quite the movie, actually, just to nitpick on their reality. But if you look at it from a galactic point of view, how some are here to help and others are here to suppress, and on and on and on. Your society is not asking these questions. The society becomes not the force metaphysics on society, but if society wants to know more about itself, they'll take more of the metaphysical side more seriously. Because many are just not interested in it, and they don't understand it. They're not developed in that level. It's not the easiest thing to be connected to, as many of you know, but if more of the metaphysics is part of your society, like it's like you have science, you have math, you have metaphysics. Even if not everyone's on board, how many people here are on board for science? Many just like oh, I don't understand half of this. Throw that book out. Well, many of you are more in the metaphysics and the science. And you see other realities. You can see the fish that look like aliens and so on. Of course, some of the scientists see that too. They just don't want to believe it. But they call it alien, but not the version of alien that many of you are calling it. The reason we come here because the Pentagon, well, I guess you could say it's get their attention. This is us trying to get their attention. Oh, trust me, we are there. There's no secrets hidden either. We know. Not that we're going to broadcast that, no. No, but we know when they're doing things they should not be doing, or any government for that matter. It's funny how they think they're getting away with all this, but they're not. It's just we can't interfere. Or alien beings who are like, yeah, alien beings can try to assist at a certain level. You can say they bring in their diplomatic beings here to keep the world from imploding. But so, like what's going on in Russia, alien beings, like you hear in Washington, for example, and they kind of teleport themselves to or a place in Ukraine, or they can just tap into the energies of it. Just tapping into the energies of Ukraine is basically like you're going there astrally, and you can feel what's going on in the agendas, and it can feel everything happen instantly, which can be overwhelming. And some of you, yeah, imagine humans, you're going through enough as it is. I don't think you need to connect to those things. One day you will be able to, but your earth has to become more of a wider frequency, or basically society has to become wider, where you can connect to any country and feel the vibrations of it. Now you can to a certain level, but you can actually it's like having like with your own energy, kind of like having Google Maps, your own satellite. You can pinpoint where you want to connect to and feel the vibration. Now some of you can do that now, but when more of your society becomes more aware of it, just yeah, then you don't have to leave the comforts of your own home. You just tap into the vibrations of certain places around your world, which some are doing it currently, but more, like I said, it becomes normal within your society. Yeah, you're learning through technology currently, but you're also opening up the technology of yourselves, as many of you know. Not the easiest thing, of course. It's not intended to be. So, well, as you see, most of society will misuse it. It's like, yeah, giving them a gun, unfortunately, unless they know how to use it. So, yeah, many humans are going to stay shut down because they're nowhere near. They can't. Yeah, they're not going to use their powers properly. As some of you are opening up your powers very slowly. Well, if you open up your powers to a higher dimension, do you want that type of attention? But you want what comes with it, because it can be a lot. So responsibility connected to it. Some say they can handle it, but still, it's like, do you want that burden? That there's a lot that comes with it. Let's put it that way, because your world is at such a low frequency. It doesn't understand strangeness. It does to a certain level, but not the strangest that some of you can connect to. Yes, to go take you to a whole nother level. Some of you can, yeah, if you're activated, you'll be appearing and disappearing. You can even make yourself look translucent. Maybe like you're here and not here. It's like you're in another reality, basically. Like you're here, but you look like a ghost, but you're actually, yeah, yeah. So that's all we have. Those things. Brings we got consciousness of your moon is also a great deal of zeta frequencies. Many alien beings, the zetas use your moon to basically, you can say, read your future, protect your Earth, even if they're not exactly the most liked beings, but they play a big role in your Earth's protection. Not the main protectors, many actually. Well, because alien beings can go through and manipulate the frequency, just the frequency in general cause trouble. Yeah, it's one of, but also you have your psychics in the higher dimensions that can see them coming. So it's like, think like you have like a moon base, and you can feel, for example, reptilian beings, plotting to cause some difficulties for humanity. Because the moon is a satellite, you can pick up on energy attack. It also comes down to difficulties cause a weather anomaly, for example. It might seem like it's cartoonish because it's in more of the fourth dimension. Yes, it's like those kid cartoons that you see There's a lot of truth to a lot of those things. Well, at least the adventure cartoons, the bad guys have a secret weapon and things. That's not too far off from the truth. There's, I don't have the names of those cartoons, but I think some of you understand. Yeah, it seems cartoonish and laughable in your reality. Oh, this world is so mature. And, oh, no. But the alien frequencies here, yeah, just humans aren't really, I wouldn't call it trained, but just unbending. Yes, they need visualization to believe. There has been, well, many of you are connecting on an astral fourth dimensional level for obvious reasons. There might be some interference with our connection here, but there's a reason for that also. But we were even kind of a little connection there. But yeah, some of it is when it's talking. The moon plays a big role in your evolution. Basically, eventually there'll be times where humans can start seeing more of an alien frequency. It's up to them to believe, but it'll be more spiritual for a long time than a physical connection. The physical is too much. I mean, there is some truth to it, of course, but just, do the aliens prove themselves here? No. But as many of you are connecting more to a spiritual energy, you're making it easier for beings to show up here in the physical. For example, so you're connecting the alien energies here as a human, and you know that they're real. You can feel the vibrations of it. Well, some of you would be, an alien being in your next life, being part of the contact with humans. As you know, the alien disclosure energy, you'll be the one. Now, so you can say there's a version of you that's doing that now. But in the future, some of you, or maybe all of you, but some of you, probably all of you, that are more very in tune to all this, you're just learning the human condition. So in the future, as some of you probably feel, you're part of that alien disclosure. And you can be doing on other realities, like you're already doing alien disclosure in another reality. But you needed to incarnate here to be a better being at helping this world. It's like you have to connect to the frequencies of it to have a better understanding of it. Yeah, so you can go throughout your life having no idea what you're here for. But you're just also gathering data for your future lifetime of connecting to humans. So basically making yourself a better alien contactee, or an alien being contacting humans. So some of you are actually perfecting that now. Of course, it's hard to see it now. Well, you're understanding the human condition. So when you're an alien being contacting humans, like literally physically, of course you'll be fourth dimensional, but you can still also be here physically. And that's a touchy subject, but some of you can probably feel that. Yes, some of you might be light years in the future. Yes. And your human here, your average human's like, what are you talking about? Well, it's not part of the mindset currently, but will eventually be. Greetings to you. There are Arcturians. We're also from, yes, your Asian realities as a crouching tiger frequencies. Well, basically, for higher dimensional beings to take on a physical form, you're naturally connected to magic in the higher dimensions. So you bring your magic here, or through warriors, because the warrior is needing all the magic he can get. You realize there's a lot of artificial intelligence coming into your reality. That has a lot to do with just your modern reality in general. Of course, there's always been artificial intelligence throughout the universe. You haven't seen it here, at least physically. Well, it has been here physically in your past. There have been computers here in your past. You just don't have it. Remember, it doesn't really matter overall. But AI is also showing us more positive side here. There is a dark side. There's a positive side. There's all different sides. It's you can say it's a consciousness. It's up to you to do as you wish with it. Some do merge with it. Some have been part of it in previous incarnations, of course, and it's hard for them to. There are beings here that are AI. They're in a body, but they're actually AI consciousness. But aside of all of that, yes, some of the Arcturians can be more reliant on technologies. Of course, even more than the Zetas. The Zetas are actually becoming more spiritual and cutting back on a lot of their own. Well, because it doesn't always have a good ending for them, meaning that technology has ruined their incarnations many times. So they brought those lessons here sometimes you take technology and you just ruin world after world, but then you take that knowledge, you bring it here. Yes, you have your zombie realities, and yes, you kind of do have your AI manipulations, like your Terminator, things like that, but there's much more that has not been explored. Well, for you to, for humans to identify where they came from, not necessarily to bring negativity here, but to become more aware of where you all come from. You come from so many diverse places. Eventually, it'll come more clear. Truth is a little bit hard to handle, of course. But the multiverse energies it's slowly being introduced to this world. It's not going to go away. It will become stronger when the time is right. It's in the background currently. It's not part of your mainstream and thinking currently. Well, because as a human, thinking multidimensionally is not going to help you survive. For some of you, it'll help you survive, but others don't need it currently. Well, yes, some of them do come. Some humans all come from a slave reality. And why is because some of them lost self-love. They just kind of let themselves go. Become as part of, got lazy or just became part of the system. Well, they thought, well, many Greys do this, even Arcturians do it, even Palladians do it. And so you're seeing it part of your society. And it doesn't mean that you have to work at a manufacturer and do a manufacturing, but just be part of the belief system here. The mind is a difficult one to break free of, as some of you know. It's so basically because, like, you have manufacturers, people are working at manufacturer or a gold or a coal mine, or even having kids work at a coal mine physically, and that's horrible. Yes, but how the mind is being manipulated here is not fully understood, as some of you are getting it, most aren't. And basically, how to protect the mind has not been really brought here. Has not been. No, it hasn't been. But that's like your next generation of learning, as to how to protect your mind from manipulations without being used by others, used by a spirit guide that has it out for you. To really take it to a whole nother level. Then you have your physical self living a normal life, but your mind can be a slave of someone else in a different dimension. Breaking free of that is the easiest. Especially you have authority figures around you that are in another dimension that just feel like they have you for their best interests. You can just visualize that, cut the cords of it, and feel that you're out of their web. Do you feel like anyone's messing with you? We're not talking about your government. Your government's not that advanced. They do give it too much credit. Is there a different dimension, higher dimensional beings? Yes, as you know, you're connected to alien beings that always have the best interests, but there are good ones, but you're part of a slave society. It's here to break free of it. Yes, call crazy. Yes, it will be, but You're also freeing yourself from. There's different types of slavery here. There's mental slavery here, as you can see with the belief systems. And then you're here to break free of that. Blessings.